So this is a very interesting discussion. Finally, out of all those years, all the LLMs, including OpenAI, Anthropic, Google is already in play. They finally decided to focus on healthcare. A couple of days ago, OpenAI declared healthcare ban, which is 4 days ago, January 8th. And they have this entire paper out, which includes but not limits to ChatGPT for Health, which essentially does model built for healthcare workflows, transparent citations. Well, this brings a very interesting story actually. Let me show something. I'll show later on. That's okay. Reusable template, access management, government data control, and support for HIPAA protocol. They have API for healthcare. This is a very good initiative, and according to them, healthcare consensus, challenging health professional workflows score GPT 5.2 thinking is comparatively better compared to the Cloud 4.5 and Gemini 3 Pro as well as Grok 4. So they're collaborating more with the different companies. For the basic science, they are working with retro bioscience. Retro bioscience, if you need the context, as much I recall, they started the, what's his name? Let me just see his name. So Sam Altman actually wrote Joe Batts LeCroix. Sam Altman wrote a 100 million check for retro bioscience a couple of years ago, and they are building up with the junction of AI and lab research. I remember their story. So for the basic science, retro bioscience is working. It's kind of a Sam Altman's own, his company. So that's a different issue. They're collaborating with Amgen, Thermo Fisher, Moderna, and others to build up and go ahead with the things. That's a very good thing. Virtually, what they are actually doing is that they are adding up different Apple AI, Apple Watch and different watch data with them. Then different types of protocols, data points integrating with them, API integrating with them. But this is the beginning. I would not press that hard right now, but they have started. That's the good news. On the other hand, today, Anthropic had a session, this event. It's called the Briefing Healthcare and Life Sciences, where they talked about the healthcare, which the OpenAI healthcare they declared actually. The Anthropic healthcare they declared yesterday. That's according to them is that this is medical benchmark of their agent. They went to the life science task, which includes scientific figures interpretation in computational biology, protein understanding, spatial biology, bio, and they also tried to use a substantial number of connectors. Actually, I have a couple of their, I think I have a couple of their slides from today's presentation. And if I'm not wrong, I could be, the Dario was presenting, you can see the picture. And so this is not that. Okay. So they were talking about this. No, let me just make it a little bit bigger, or probably more it's visible. So they are doing AI progress accelerating, and what the cloud AI, and how the AI opportunity, I mean, annual investment is like a huge in there. They are talking about the MCP connectors as well as the agent skills. So, and then this combination of MCP connectors and agent skills actually let the healthcare works done. This is something that I will give the example a little bit later on. They added recently CMS coverage, ICD-10, NPI registry department, all those things. Agent skills is prior authorization review they need recently added. So, I mean, what are the areas they Anthropic is interested in that R&D? Molecular biology, computational biology, biochemistry, medicinal chemistry, structural biology, immunology, clinical regulatory, different parts, commercial different parts, which is absolutely great. I mean, I love it, and that's what I was saying. These guys are presented; they give a fantastic talk in there. That's not the point. Point in here is that finally all the AI company is coming for healthcare, and that's a very good news. Now there are 2 points I have been talking. The first point is that I have been advocating for this for almost the very beginning. I mean, when the first ChatGPT came and the watershed moment in there, that's when I started talking about it. I mean, there are a couple of other things, like one of my ex-colleague from Sinai, what's his name? Yeah, Thomas Fass. He's the chief AI officer at Eli Lilly and Company, and he declared today, like this is the declaration. There's they have with NVIDIA, Lilly announced a co-innovation AI lab to reinvent drug discovery in the age of AI, and they are going to invest $1 billion. It's virtually $1 billion, so that's insane, and that's very good news to the context of our interest. So now let me go one by one. The topic I wanted to talk, and I will give a substantial demo today with a very good tools and what actually this means, irrespective of the companies that are doing it. When I was advocating, I was developing myself a lot of things. That's something that companies can use as an AI company, and I was developing browser, I was developing tools. I have been doing a lot of things. Some of them I gave publicly. I mean, most of them I gave publicly. A couple of them I hold it back just for that's whatever they are trying to do. The OpenAI and the Claude. I mean, I think I have kind of a standardized already a substantial part of it. I can show one by one, but that's one of the point I was saying in there. The hallucination, that was the topic in there. That's this transparent citation. So if you go back to my I mean, this channel that's I have been uploading for my students for some time. I mean, it's not that popular, so I don't mind also. So it doesn't matter to me. So this is couple of them. Presentation or kind of talk or lecture I have uploaded, demo uploaded in 2023 and around that time, and some of them are like this was one of them was this one, the write research paper in seconds. When I started and wrote it with the ChatGPT, and the it was I gave it publicly from the November 2023. So in couple of months there was around 200K people who used it. I mean, it got too popular. That's insanely good. The reason people are using it, that's to tackle this hallucination, because the citation was really biased. ChatGPT had a very high citation error at that time. So the way I designed this tool app is that you can write the research paper automatically. It was in the 2023, and also it gets accurate citations, which is still the most of the companies are struggling, AI companies and others. So the hallucination that need to be controlled. That's one context. Another context is that there are a couple of other softwares that I have developed, and I can try to find them if I can. That would be fantastic. But so those software, so and I have written there's those that had a focus on their clinical software is one of them. No, that's not the clinical software. That's another one. I'll show it later on. Probably I have it in here, no? And uh, probably I will have it. So citation is, does it have a mode of citation? So it is. So still now this is one of the software that's my current software. So if you look at in here, there's some, this is a Biomed AI, the new software I have. It's a browser plus analyzer, and it is an autonomous agent which has the inclusion of all AI top AI models. So it's a Gemini 3 actually Pro. I forgot to update it. So Cloud A Opus 4.5, GPT 5.2, and Gemini 3 Pro. And when you can see the GPT 5.2, it still have 68.5% accuracy in terms of citations. But the model I developed, it has 97.8% accuracy. I will show a demo at the end of this talk. So the citation itself is still a major problem with most of the AI models. The Gemini had a very high inaccuracy in terms of citations. Just made it up. GPT used to make it up. Cloud used to make it up. So I developed this entire software just for my this purpose. I will give a small demo today, and I can discuss on this later on. So I have been talking about this for years. That's what the point here was. The another thing that's ChatGPT and the Claude was doing, that they are going trying to add up the agent skills in their end to do it. So one of the major limitation in terms of doing the or adding the agent skill all over the places is that the agentic skill is something that need to be developed by the subject specialist in collaboration with computational persons. So it's a very interesting thing that to look at, like you can't just randomly develop the skills on the way. It's not done. So what is the impact of skills and how good they are? So let me just give you a one of the fantastic thing that I have done in terms of the skills. That's because the OpenAI is releasing their this skill sets that's only works on the way that's you can use it with the Claude. Sorry, the Anthropic release skills only works with the Claude. And the OpenAI set of skills that only works with OpenAI. So what I have done, I have developed this is new entire kind of a software that is specifically to develop a set of skills for life science and clinical science, although it has full of computational and mathematics skills together. That is substantially works with this universal biomedical skills platform, that substantially works with this biokernel, with all LLM model, including the GPT, uh, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and all of them. And it's I built it up from zero, and it's the best skill model that can be ever available in life science and clinical practice and clinical skills. For example, let me just give you a very short description. Like for example, clinical skills, you have the medical necessity determination, recruitment agent, clinical note summarization, clinical trial helping, precision oncology, imaging like extra CT scanning, all of these things. FIRM integration, that's they were OpenAI, Anthropic was talking today. Then you have single cell multiomics skill, which includes which I built up actually from the zero, SCBurst, which is the Python based platform for single cell multiomics data analysis. Surat is R based platform. Then CRISPR design, spatial biology, multi-agent variant annotation for clinical purpose. The drug discovery, it has a lot of them, protein design, structure, you have AlphaFold models and everything in there. Consumer health, you have the wearable analysis, data analysis, bio MCP servers, and all those things. That's actually the even if you see go through the Anthropic website or the OpenAI website, they don't even have 1/3 or probably not even a 1/10 of it. And I built it up one by one. It's not like that randomly I'm building it up and just talking about it. This is the summary from both of them. That's their prioritizing in there, but it's open to for it's open for everyone. So if um, it's open for everyone, and anyone can actually go through this and then actually talk more. I just download it and use it with any LLM models they want to run on those skills. So let me give you an example. Like for example, if you have a data set, let's go through this. You have a genomics data set. So we go in here and we search. Okay, we go to one of the data set. Let me just give you an example and how. Let me see. Show you. So we go to the in here with the skills, and we go to the test. So we take this data set. So what does it has? So it has this data set. So we go in here. So this is a paper. This is a nice paper that's been published by the by this Swiss group, and this is a paper that they have. This is published in Blood, letter in to Blood. This is a very good paper, 2019 paper. So from this paper, they have this from normal donor thalassemia major CD34 positive cells, single cell RNA sequencing using the 10x platform. So what I am doing, that's I'm downloading this data. Let's not go in very detailed for the demonstration purpose. I downloaded 3 bone marrow, healthy bone marrow, and 3 thalassemia donors, and now I take the link of this one, and because the because I want to show a demo, so I take it in here and I go it like city. So we go into this folder, and I'm going into one of the AI models. For example, let's choose one. Now I was talking about Anthropic. I was talking about the OpenAI, ChatGPT, Claude. Now we have Gemini. We have many of them. So we take one of them. We take Gemini, and we go through this. Okay, Gemini. We have this data set. So it automatically gives this. See, for single cell RNA analysis, objective perform differential expression. It's automatically suggesting what could be done in there. Compare. So the data set ID is bone marrow versus BT. Normal bone marrow here versus thalassemia. Basic data analysis using Python. Perform cell type and notation, reduce, and find something meaningful. Find the skills in genomics section and go ahead. So this is all. I'm not writing anything. So it's giving auto suggestion in there. You can do what it can do. Just click on this. You don't need to do much. Just click on this and that's all, because this is the data set. It's linked in here, right? And you can see. So I'm going in here, and now what are the skills it has? So if I'm going in here, I'm just keeping it open so for the better demonstration. So I'm going to the skills collection, skills in here, and it has a genomic section. So we go to the genomic section, and we have this specifically single cell. So if we take it in a single cell, it has a different agents. So if you go to the SCBars ecosystem, Scanpy, CPI tools, and all of this, it has the tutorials and everything. And if you go to the tutorials, you will see the details, whatever you want to do, like it's RNA or DNA or any of this. It has all the details that's required for doing these things. That's I have put in here. I'm showing you the really in real time. That's how it's working and what's is required. So as the skills are already in there, and I gave the data set, and if you are even completely naive on this topic, it will it should be able to run the entire work by itself. So it will create a virtual. It's creating a virtual environment and running everything in there. And that's the power of a skill. Like you can take any AI model and it give the data set, you give the skill, and AI will be autonomously running all of it without any second question. So let it go through this and run it by that time simultaneously. Let me so I mean, you can just switch on any of them and you will see that everything that's required in there is in there. So let me just show you something else in there. So um, okay, let it autonomously say. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. So now you can see there's some, in a couple of minutes, this has completely done its work. So it has been analyzed in here, and it's entirely done. It took a couple of minutes, and let's see the output. So we have this test and results. So this is the result. So scales to the test results. So you can ask it to save everything and it will do everything. So you can see this analysis PT versus PM, standard analysis. So you don't need to actually do anything. And you have this map regeneration PT versus PM. So the I mean, whatever it is, that's a different issue, but that's it's in there. That's the point. So so you have the cell types, you have all those things. Now you see that what is upregulated and what is downregulated in there, and all these gene list, DEG, differential express gene list, and everything in there. So my point in here is not that. My point in here is that, see, the key findings it has written in there. See, so it has done everything: PC image generation, cluster cell population, later apart from DEGs, and then strong upregulation in thalassemia. You have the chronic inflammation and stress upregulation, UBK3 and others, downregulation in thalassemia and U2. So it's already saved in there. So my point in here is that you just don't need to do anything. If you have the proper skills in there, AI models can run on behalf of you everything that you need. And that's where the companies need to come. This is what I built myself from the zero, and I'm a single academician who focus on this work because I'm from the same field. The companies have billions of dollars to invest on this area, and I don't know how much they are doing it. Now you have this data set. For example, you have this data set, right? So now you want to say, okay, I have this data set. What do I want to do? So if you have this data set, can you just put this data somewhere and look at something? So for example, you have this data set in here. Okay, let's go through this. Let me just make a copy. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, this is locked to people below, and let's just delete them. We saved it, and then we have this data set. Now I wrote actually another software, that's a browser actually, that I have developed, written myself, and then that one is something that that is very interesting for myself. Now you have this data set, you want to see that's okay, does this work in there? So you can just put it in there, like, okay, I want to copy this and I want to put this in there. That's one logic. And another one is that you can just copy the data in there, and you can say, okay, import it. So this will import your all points in here, all your data in here automatically. And then you are, this is the software I made, so you can ask me anything. So in here you can go look at, okay, you do a comparison of that. You want a bulk on a part. So just I mean, how do you want it? That's a different issue. Lock to fold change versus p-adjusted value. This doesn't look that impressive in here. So okay, lock to fold change. This is the data that's been generated from here. I'm going through a very, I mean, complex and very big data set in here. But let me give you a better demo with another data set holds, probably that's better. So you can just click on this and just say, okay, we want this data set in here, or we want data set to generate something in here. So we go to the one click, and let me just um, go through one of these. Okay, we want build matrix probably, or okay, so logfold by gene, so gene names and the logfold change of them. So I mean, there are many things could be done in there. I'm just giving one of the examples, or we can just take another data set. Okay, we want to see this data set, so analysis in there. Okay, so we get in there, and then we say, okay, we want to put the one click analysis in there. So one click, we get in there, and then what sort of analysis you want is that's another issue. So if you say, okay, compare, and now you want, okay, I want treatment response. So this will generate like this. So there you want viability in there. Okay, this is another like that. So it depends on viability and other things. This, it has a background of a lot of things. You want it to be write a article on top of this, so you just select the article, the style, author names, and the what you want, and you generate article. It will go through all LLM models, and it will write the article based on the analysis of your data. So, and it has some search which goes through all LLM models. It has some deep research mode, which reads up to, you can see, up to 550 to 100 papers, and then write the paper, or you can add up your data and it will go work accordingly. So there are so many of these things that can be done with this browser. So my point is not showing up this browser or anything. My point is that if you have a data set that's for example single cell genomics data, you can just write the CLI comment with any LLM models, and within a couple of minutes, by using the skills, it will analyze, it will generate a graph and everything, and then use the browser like this and put the data first in there, and browse and upload the data in here, and it will use all three LLM models together to do the analysis and on behalf of you, so that it gets the authenticated analysis and everything. And let me just show you another example, like how it works in here. So we were looking at let's go through the we ask a question, megakaryocytes, NF kappa B or G6B role in myelofibrosis. This is the question that I'm asking, and let it go through this for a couple of seconds, and it will be analyzing that. It will go through. Let me show you how it works. That's the issue we were talking about. So we're searching in here, and it's you can see this because I built it from zero, so it goes through RAG model, then reliable source like PubMed and BioRaxP and all those things they are adding right now. and then it goes through the all AI models, or multiple of them, then go it's already been trained also. The RAG model has been trained also on the authentic paper publications. Like for example, you can see in here, this is a couple of the publications that I used. All are downloaded for reliable paper publications. For example, this is from the Blood paper, the Blood journal paper, one of the top journal. There are many of these this model was trained on them, and you'll see how authenticated and genuine this entire work is. So you can see that's it's been significantly used, and it has confidence score. It has went through the all LLM, and it is something that I developed, so I can talk about it. So the search is in there. For example, the question was that the macrocytosis virulent myelofibrosis, and you can go through this inflammatory G6 expression in MPN. It has the specific PubMed ID validated, all of them. Let me just, it's a complete writing. You have the key points and everything. So if we go to the first publications, like you don't need to copy that, you just need to copy this. Okay, PubMed ID, and you search it. See, it's exactly the same that's been cited in here. Every publication in here is 100% verified. So when they are saying transparent citation, there is no models on the market till now that's so authenticated by using all LLMs, and every single publication is 100% source specific. So there is no error of no way to do a single error anywhere. So this is the way I was saying. You have data set, you just give your skills and ask your LLM to analyze your data um, with the best possible scientific accuracy. It does the analysis. Then you have this entire setup with all LLMs with the confidence score and everything, and it goes through this. We use the PubMed, all reliable source, BioXP and everything, EuroPMC, and use all LLMs best capacity to analyze your data and write the paper, cite the 100% perfect citations, so there is no error anywhere. This is already I have done. The companies who has billions of dollars, they haven't done, probably not this much. This works for clinical trials, so this works for everything. You can just click on this, so one of them. Okay, I want to look at the databases, I want to look at the trials. So look, if you click on the database, you see every single CBI portal, every single database that's relevant in there. If you want, okay, I don't want, I want something like, okay, I want in the can you open it? Okay, it directly opens in there. You want, okay, I don't want that, I want to go to back in there, I want to look at my trial data only. So I say, okay, I want myelofibrosis trials. It will list every single trial from NIH or the clinical trials website. So this is something that I have already developed, and the companies can do the same thing, and it will be highly beneficial and profitable for the people who does the research in clinical and biomedical side, as well as for real-time patient applications. That's all. Feel free to ask me, if you want to reach me, just go to my GitHub. You will find my details, you have my numbers and everything. You can just click on my profile, you'll find everything in here. Alright, start that also. You want to find me, just go and search in here. Go to the website, and this number is wrong, but you can always send it. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you so much.